The Extra Point with Ryan Justice is brought to you by the Phone Medic. For the best in cell phone or tablet repairs, the Phone Medic is the only choice for you. The Phone Medic also offers gaming PCs, laptops, and consoles for both gamers and everyday users. Visit one of the Phone Medic locations in Amarillo or Canyon today. And by Macaulay Made. Whether you're looking for a custom cap as the perfect gift or to represent your small business with a high-quality hat, Bobby McCulley has you covered. Wear what Ryan and Andy wear. Wear something that's Macaulay Made. The official cap of the Extra Point.
Hello, football fans. Welcome to the Extra Point with Ryan Justice.
We are down to 4. What a divisional round we have. A lot of coaching news. And man, we are headed towards Super Bowl number 60. It is Wednesday night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Extra Point. I'm Ryan Justice. Before we get going, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the page. Thank you for everyone who has been viewing the clips over the last couple days. We've gotten some really good viewership on that. So if you are new to the channel from those clips, very much welcome in, and be sure to let your friends, family, loved ones, hated ones, everyone you know, let them in on the Extra Point. Want to welcome in my co-host for the night, the one and only Tyler Anderson. Tyler, welcome back to the Extra Point, sir.
Hey, thanks. You keep on extending the invite, and I got to keep taking it. So
yeah, eventually one of these days we're gonna stick you with some kind of regular tag or something.
I guess. I mean, I don't mind.
There you go. Hey, we love having you here. Well, man, I mean, dude, what a crazy divisional weekend. Of course, divisional round is always, like, to me, I always describe the divisional round as like this is where you separate, like, who really has a chance. Like, and don't get me wrong. I mean, it's obviously you're getting down to the Final Four. You're getting down into the conference championships. You're getting down into, like, okay, one of these teams is going to make it to the Super Bowl. But I think the divisional round, to me, always kind of lets me know who is best set up to be there consistently and succeed in that round. Like, who's the best set up for long-term success.
Sure, it separates the good from the great, doesn't it? But it also gives teams a lot of, like, great glimpses into things going forward, what they can build off of. But if you talk to Ben Johnson from the Chicago Bears, he's like, well, we'll start at square one. So it allows teams to kind of, like, evaluate and then either move on from what they're doing because they sense a window closing, like what we saw with Buffalo, but we'll get into that probably once we get into the weeds here. Or, you know, hey, we're going to go back to square one, like what I mentioned with Ben Johnson. So the divisional round is really, it's really the most telling round, and and for football fans, it's the most fun round.
I mean, I don't know about that. It's definitely a bad memory for me. And
wild card in divisional 1A, 1B. I mean, you can flip them.
Wild card's fine. I've got some great memories of the wild card round. The division round always brings back some haunting memories to me. But you're exactly right. Like, it definitely shows, like, who's ready for the big time and who's not. Like, where it shows, and it also is, like you said, who's on the cusp of being there and who still needs a lot of work, on their team. And we'll get to that here in a second. But we kick the night off with hot topics, and boy, one of the hottest topics in the league. We open up the week after just a heartbreaking loss in Mile High. Sean McDermott is fired as the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Can't say we didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, it came down to the Pagulas just realizing that Sean McDermott is only going to get you so far, and according to I think it's Terry Pagula, if I remember correctly, he felt like they hit the proverbial playoff wall. So I mean, they had to move on from Sean McDermott. Plus, you really don't want to waste Josh Allen's prime.
I mean, he had a lot to say in his press conference today. A lot to say about Keon Coleman, a lot to say about Sean McDermott, a lot to say about Josh Allen. I mean, and it was very revealing. You know, they're talking about how Keon Coleman was basically a compromise.
Mhm.
Um, basically how just how upset Josh Allen was after that loss. And you're exactly right. They hit a playoff wall. We had kind of mused on this show and buy or sell about whether or not, like, if Buffalo does not make it again with no Lamar, no Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, like none of like, I guess for lack of a better word, the pillars of the AFC standing in the way of the Buffalo Bills getting to the championship, do you make a change at head coach? And I figured this was more than likely going to be coming. And now some of the favorites for that head coaching spot are Brian Daboll. He's rumored to be holding off on other offensive coordinator jobs because he is aiming to be the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, Josh Allen got some. Josh Allen doesn't become Josh Allen without Brian Daboll.
Sure. Sure.
So
I believe it.
I don't know how he does as a head coach though. And to me, that also doesn't address like the personnel problems that are there in Buffalo. They need someone to catch the damn ball.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely, I mean, Josh Allen can only do so much. And I think we brought up that point time and time again. And they really need to look at, going into free agency, looking at some receivers, or they really need to look really hard at the draft, try to find a diamond in the rough. Defense, I mean, I think they were all banged up, if I remember correctly. So, like, I think as
Well,
long as you can get some people healthy, that
they
knows.
were, but in the midst of being banged up, like even before then, they had very big issues stopping the run.
Sure. Oh
They
yeah.
were they're great in stopping the pass, best passing defense in the league, but they could not stop the run to save their lives. So, I mean, there we go. Hello, how's it going, Becca? But yeah, they could not stop the run to save their lives, and so I think that led to Sean McDermott being fired. Joe Brady has been a head coach candidate. I believe he's probably going to get an interview as well, if not for definitely not for the OC, but head coaching as well. So speaking of coaching carousel, several spots got filled. We'll start with the biggest one: John Harbaugh to the New York Giants.
I think after the show, I mean, all the sign. I mean, I think last time we were visiting, we were on the show. I was like, okay, this makes sense. And well, lo and behold, like it's like, okay, all they got to do is just hammer out details, and John Harbaugh is in. I think it's a great call for the New York Giants. I believe it kind of advantage Harbaugh when it comes to the NFC East. But I know I feel like I called it, but really all the signs were pointing towards
Hey,
Harbaugh going to
take
Big
credit
Blue.
for it. Don't be afraid to take credit for it.
No. I mean, what do I know? I just write and take pictures at the end of the day. I speculate every now and then, but most of the speculations, I'm more like 10-90
Well,
versus 90-10.
instantly he becomes the best coach in the NFC East.
Oh,
Like
by far.
hands down, he becomes the best coach in the NFC East. I think the interesting thing here is he doesn't answer to Joe Shane, the GM. He answers directly to Jim Mara, which
Mm,
is kind of the way it was in Baltimore. You don't have to worry about the power struggle between Joe Shane and Jim Mara. In fact, this kind of puts Joe Shane a little bit under Harbaugh's thumb because I don't think that that John Harbaugh is going to lose any power struggle that may be there with Joe Shane. So he's got to work in lockstep with John Harbaugh. If you're looking at that roster, obviously Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, Malik Neighbors, Tyron Tracy at running back. They've got a solid defensive line. Talking about bringing Todd Monken in as the OC, we saw how much he improved Lamar Jackson's throwing in that offense down in Baltimore. I would imagine they're going to be bringing in a lot of their defensive guys in there. They got a better defensive line in New York than they did in Baltimore. I think there was just zero pass rush down there.
mhm.
Now you're going to have Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter and Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence all on the same line again in a better and probably a better defense with a better coach team. So that to me was a great hire by the
Oh
New York
yeah.
Giants.
And the Giants have the recipe for success. Now it's just executing it.
Yeah, and Harbaugh's the one to do it. Like, this is not a Ben McAdoo, Brian Daboll. Like, let's see where we go. No, like, this is bona fide, pelts on the wall, full of credibility type of coaching hire. But we had a couple other coaching hires, a couple other head coaching hires around the league. Kevin Stefanski to the Atlanta Falcons, Robert Saleh to the Tennessee Titans. Man, I mean, those are two big spots. Those are two big spots with two bona fide coaches. I like both of these hires. Well, not as a Texans fan, I don't like the Robert Saleh hire, but as like a football fan and thinking, hey, maybe the culture fits with coaches that have proven track records, I do like these hires.
Yeah, I do too, especially Stefanski in Atlanta, just because he has a lot of pieces around him. I believe that he's got to figure out the quarterback situation. I believe all signs are kind of pointing towards Penix taking over that prime spot. But yeah, like I would say Stefanski's got a way better situation that he's walking into compared to what he walked out of. Another really underrated defense and a team that can, Bijan Robinson, and then the aforementioned Penix as well. So the Falcons could be scary good next year. They can be sneaky good.
I'm excited to see what he does with Bijan Robinson.
Sure.
I'm excited to see what he does with Kyle Pitts. He did a lot of good things with David Njoku. I imagine there's going to be some Browns players that may follow him, although his exit is kind of, there's been some friction around his exit again. Mm-hmm. And these two South divisions are going to have some big rivalries or some big heat.
Yeah.
Because you saw the Baker Mayfield post about Kevin Stefanski coming to the NFC South. He's bringing his offensive coordinator with him. That's the thing is I don't know how much better the surroundings are in Atlanta, but I think the fact that Atlanta was conscious enough to say none of this is working, and they fired the entire front office, brought in Matt Ryan. They hired him before they hired the GM.
Mm-hmm.
So
they cleaned house.
That says something. And so I like the situation in Atlanta for Kevin Stefanski a lot more than I did with him in Cleveland.
Sure. Oh yeah, I believe it.
Now, Robert Saleh to the Tennessee Titans. This is a frame off restoration, a full on from the ground up rebuild. The good thing is they may have their quarterback, but that's about it.
Yeah. Luckily the Titans have the fourth pick in the draft. Hopefully they have a little more draft capital. I'd have to look a little deeper into that, but I mean, I believe that, Cam Ward, he's proved, I mean, he's making steps to prove. Yeah, he's had moments. He's had glimmers, shimmers, shines, whatever you want to call it. And I believe that you can build around Cam Ward at least for over the next year or two. But yeah, you got to put some pieces around Cam Ward. You got to. I mean, teams are not hard to turn around. No. You can go from worst to first pretty easily. But the Titans do need some building blocks, and Saleh's the guy that can get you some of those pieces, especially on defense.
And I think he had a raw deal, and he's got some players. You're talking about guys like Jeffrey Simmons and Tavondre Sweat over there on that side of the ball. He knows how to build a good defense. Here's the thing. Here's the scary part about the Titans, though. They're going to be, I believe, top 3 in cap space next year. Plus, they have those draft picks, so they're going to be able to build this team. They're going to be able to possibly do what the Patriots have done in an offseason and turn this team around. There's going to be some guys out there that they could go get. I can only think of like one name that might be off the table because I believe Brandon Ayuk does not want to go play for anyone that was associated with the 49ers.
Oh, sure.
But that's about it. Like, I think everything's going to be on the table for Robert Saleh. And there's the chance that he does bring in a big name offensive coordinator. Daboll was one of the names mentioned if he doesn't get the Bills job. And the other one that we got to mention too is Jeff Hafley is the head coach of the Miami Dolphins now, and he was the defensive coordinator for the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
This one's the wild card to me because, the Packers defense was okay, It got worse without Micah Parsons. But I don't know if he's the guy to go down there into that hornet's nest and try to bring things under control.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a heck of a job, especially U Albany. He's worked his way up. And I understand that, Halfley's defense really struggled when Parsons got injured, and they only had like 4 sacks over the next 4 games. Plus they had that meltdown like they did. But according to several reporters, when they've interacted with Halfley, um, people like him, and he's a likable guy. And you gotta love young, fiery guys that care, that care about the game. They love the game. I mean, everybody loves the game. But I think it's a wild card, but sometimes left field selections really do they really do switch things up. They change things up.
Yeah, and I mean, like I say, he's wild card, maybe a dark horse. I know the Mike McDaniel firing had a lot to do with culture, so that was a big deal. But I mean, we'll see if he brings a different culture. If he brings a better culture, we'll see what he does when he puts together his staff. How that kind of brings the Dolphins. We got an entire offseason to really see how that's going to go.
Yeah.
The other thing too, Mike McDaniel as the OC in LA. We're looking at Brian Flores getting extended and some other coordinator spots. I can't remember off the top of my head. The guy's name went to Detroit. He was the Arizona offensive coordinator spot. But I think the one that catches the most attention is Mike McDaniel to the Chargers.
Yeah, I think if from the Chargers' perspective, they look like they needed that shot in the arm during the regular season when they had people healthy. Like the Chargers' offense was just a force to be reckoned with, and then, well, things kind of they fell apart once they got into the wild card round with the Patriots, and all the injuries stacked up, and just the injuries ended up catching up with the Chargers. But I think it's a great combination. Who better?
It's going to be interesting to see how him and Jim Harbaugh work together.
Yeah, and I think it'll work out. It might be one of those 1-year pit stops, and then when the coaching carousel opens again, around this time next year, Mike McDaniel's name will be tossed around a little bit.
We'll take a look. The coaching carousel begins to spin. I believe we have 8 spots still open in the NFL as far as head coaches go. So
I think there's 6. Yeah, there's 6 remaining vacancies.
It was up to 10 at one point.
Right. Yeah, it was a good third of the league.
This one came through today. Officially confirmed by John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan in their exit press conferences. Brandon Ayuk is done in San Francisco. John Lynch quoting saying he feels like it's a pretty safe bet that Ayuk has played his last snap in San Francisco. And, Kyle Shanahan talking about how nobody could get a hold of him. People were trying to call, and he was just not answering for San Francisco. So John Lynch is pretty much, the door is shut on Brandon Ayuk in San Francisco. You want to touch on this one real quick?
Yeah. It seemed like he really tuned out over the course of this year, missed a lot of time, just kind of ghosted the 49ers.
After they gave him a contract too.
Yeah, they offered him a big contract, and and then you're just like, okay, all right, well, I'm not gonna do anything with it. Okay, all right. But players, there's certain headspaces that they'll get into, and if they feel like they're in not a great headspace, they'll tune out in a hurry. And then I think for Brandon Ayuk, it might be he needs a change of scenery.
Yeah,
that's probably a big one.
Yeah,
he probably wants to go to a contender.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Niners are,
though. And the Niners are a contender.
Niners are a contender, in
right.
Great weather.
Yeah,
a proven team. I don't know if it's a money thing. I mean, they gave you the contract. That's weird. That's one we're gonna have to watch over the offseason.
Right. Yeah, that'll be interesting.
So we'll go ahead and get into our game reactions. 4 games this weekend in the divisional round. We'll start off in Denver. Buffalo goes to Denver. They go to overtime. last second kick for the Broncos. They get to move on to the AFC Championship game, but they move on at a cost.
Yeah, and it's a huge cost. Bo Nix going down with a few plays left in the game with a broken ankle. And it seemed like he was walking off the field okay. And then Sean Payton comes up to the press conference and he's like, yep, he's got a broken ankle. He's done for the season. We got Jarrett Stidham. As a Broncos fan, I was just devastated. I was like, man, what a great win. A scary win at that, because you can't win the turnover battle and barely beat, now granted, this was a really good Buffalo team with a very determined Josh Allen, but this should have been a game that the Broncos should have won by 2 touchdowns, and it ended up being an overtime thriller. So yeah, again, the Broncos try my patience. They stress me out. I swear to God. Okay. So, I was watching this game all throughout and I had to step away just because the Broncos stressed me out so bad. I was like, I have to go out and go to Wingstop and go get some wings, man. Because the Broncos, they're just not doing it for me. And I was like, okay, they're up by 2 scores. Maybe I can relax a little bit. By the time they come back, well, Buffalo's mounting a comeback. And I'm like, man, I don't know what to do with you guys. I get so scared, and I just see so many flaws, but somehow, some way, Denver always just ekes out of it. You can call it great coaching or poise or just making plays at the right time. And then I'll touch on the issues like that Buffalo fans had with that game as well. But yeah, I was sweating bullets by the time that game was over. I was ready for that game to be done.
What was interesting to me in that one was just I hadn't seen a team move the ball on Denver like that all year. James Cook with 117 yards, and Josh Allen was running on him as well, and passing. He had some really great throws. I know he turned the ball over, but this Buffalo began to make plays when they needed to make plays.
They did. They came in the clutch.
Yeah, they did that, and that's one of the things that I guess has made Buffalo so good over the last few years has been those abilities to be made in the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
It's just James Cook showed why he's the leading rusher in the league, and I hate that it came down to that Brandon Cooks interception or that Brandon Cooks pass. There to me, there's arguments for both of those.
Yeah, there's arguments both ways, and
that was close.
It was very close. If you look at another game, which we'll probably discuss, where the receiver caught the ball and it ended up being a defender's hand, and they ruled the receiver down. So, Buffalo fans were like, okay, well, we have a leg to stand on. What's going on here? Although, if you watch the broadcast and you watch it multiple times, usually if it's a 50-50 ball, he'll go the receiver. But by the time both of them rolled out of whatever sequence they were in, it was Brandon Cooks without the ball. So,
the best way I look at it is I look at it as the whole, does it survive going to the ground type of thing. And if he didn't hold on to it, if don't get me wrong, Brandon Cooks had that ball and he was down, that ball was not, to me, the ball was coming out as he was going to the ground.
Sure.
They both went down kind of like an old Royal Rumble, both guys getting eliminated at the same time, finished at the same time. They both had the ball at the same time. It's just when it hit the ground and they both popped up, the defender had it. And to me, that goes to the defender. I think if they would have ruled it a catch, that probably would have been it for Denver. We probably would be seeing Josh Allen in an AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
But man, Bo Nix, dude, he was making some plays. He was
making some great throws, especially down the stretch. I never felt worried. Coming from a Broncos fan, I was like, okay, all right, 3rd and long, he'll make that. And he was finding guys And he was threading the needle. It wasn't like he was making like, throws into double coverage or making really contested throws. He was making very smart throws. He was able to see the field, find his open guys, move the chains, and get the job done. It sucks that he went down with an injury.
And yeah, I know. Now we get to see what Jarrett Stidham does in the conference championship. Moving on, Seahawks and Niners. I mean, this was probably going to be pretty quick. This was just the end of the road for the San Francisco 49ers.
It was. They were just so banged up, and we were thinking, well, maybe Kyle Shanahan will have like a little bit of a game plan going in. Maybe put the fear of God into the Seahawks a little bit, but it turned out that the sands of time just ran out on the 49ers, and I mean, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, and I mean the Seattle defense is just so good, and you can only sustain so many injuries throughout the year. George Kittle going down, that was the final nail in the coffin. Like we've seen what happens to Christian McCaffrey when you put it all on him. His body can't take it.
Right.
Purdy, as good as he's played this year, I just don't think he was getting it done against that defense with as many injuries as he had.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think this would be like a blowout because I did think Kyle Shanahan would at least coach it to a competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
But I just didn't see this kind of domination against the 49ers. Okay, You ready for me to be mad?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Man. These will probably be clipped. So
this might be clipped, and it might be this might be the theme of this episode. Texans go to Patriots. They play in the weather. They lose 28-16. The story coming out of this game is C.J. Stroud throwing 4 interceptions in the first half. And, I mean, I'm at a conundrum with this team, because the defense played lights out.
The defense kept the Texans in the game the majority of the game.
They didn't allow any points off of those turnovers. The only time the turnover caused points was the pick 6 from C.J. Stroud. Mm-hmm. But this was, I thought last week with the Steelers and the fumbles and the snap issues, I thought that was an anomaly because C.J. Stroud had, if you look at some of the advanced metrics, C.J. Stroud is like rather at the top 10 or just outside the top 10 in some of those metrics. Mm-hmm. He was very efficient with the ball during the season. He kept the play clean. It's just the offense didn't produce a lot. But this was a mixture, like I said in the playoffs, the playoffs expose everything you're bad at. And this looked very much like the Texans. In fact, it looked worse than the Texans team that opened up 0-3. It looked way worse than what they did at the beginning of the season. And I can't blame Nick Caley for some of this. I can't. He deserves some of the blame, sure, but I cannot blame their offensive coordinator for some of this because this was on CJ. Mm-hmm. And this put on blast all the things that I had been worried about with CJ Stroud since the Bills game last year.
Sure.
Where when he started taking hits, and then the Tank Dell thing happened. Like, CJ does not handle adversity. He can't. He is soft. He is soft mentally. He can do anything physically. He can he can be an unlimitedly talented player.
Yeah. Physically. Oh, absolutely. He's got all the talent in the world.
Between the ears, he can't handle it. I mean, and we're gonna get into more of it over the time, but you just saw in that half CJ Stroud break down. And I think this is the result of how the Texans handle him. This is a result of how the Texans approach CJ Stroud. They approach him. If you listen to D'Amico Ryan's press conferences, he's hard as hell on the defense. Yeah. They approach CJ with kid gloves because they don't want him hurting his feelings. And I swear to God, if next year I see him on the sidelines moping and with that sad little boy look on his face, man, like I may lose it. Like I wanted to believe in CJ, but my belief has been shot after this game.
Do you feel like over the off season? Okay, all right. Let me hit you with something. Something non-football, but yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Him? I just watched it last night.
No, I didn't see that.
It was produced by Jordan Peele.
He's too religious to sell his soul to the devil. He's not going to do that.
Right. But like you need somebody that can like maybe put him somewhere for a week and then just break him down and build him back up, especially, confidence wise.
You need a coach.
He's got all the tools in the world, but man, if your head's not in the game or you get mopey too much in a hurry, your team's done. I mean, your offense is done. Because go ahead.
Not having Nico Collins was a big factor.
But sure. Yeah, I agree with that.
He's played his best game. He's played one of his best games without Nico Collins. Mm-hmm. I mean, where was everyone else to step up? Like, Trent Brown being gone should not have broken this offense from being able to run the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get, the Patriots have a good defense, but you've got a defense that can cover for you. And I just there's a softness about this offense that just cannot. It gets put on blast when you compare it to the way the Texans defense plays.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and I think really Stroud's really got to take a long, hard look in the mirror and realize
between the ears.
Yeah, he's got to realize, okay, I can't throw 4 picks in a divisional game and expect to win.
Nope.
And then the fumble really didn't help either, as well. So I mean, 5 turnovers, that'll kill you in a playoff game.
Yeah.
It seemed like everything and anything, just Murphy's Law caught up.
Happy birthday, Hunter.
Happy birthday, Hunter. It seemed like just everything just caught up with the Texans, particularly on offense. Even though the defense just put together a Herculean effort, but they just, I mean, after a while, even the best defenses, like if your offense can't do you any favors, I mean, they're just, things are going to fall apart.
This approach of just don't screw it up on defense, that approach is going to kill this team. Don't screw it up. Let the defense do what they do. We saw it. They fell apart. They're not going to get further than this round if that's going to be the approach. You need more production out of this offense. I'm of the opinion, if it would have broken C.J. Stroud to bench him, then he's not the guy. Mm-hmm. He's not the guy. We've seen Warren Moon got benched. And if we want to bring this into use, Warren Moon got benched. And then when he came back, led the Oilers on, at the time, the longest winning streak in the NFL since the 72 Dolphins. Mm-hmm. If he can't handle that, he can't handle playing starting quarterback in the NFL. Put Davis Mills in and he'd have won that game.
Oh, I'm sure.
Texans, not necessarily from making spectacular plays or anything, but because he knew how to operate the offense, he didn't buckle under pressure.
Yeah.
So the Texans do this. They get to the divisional round and they just completely break down. Do you want to hit the Patriots real quick? I mean, Drake May had three turnovers of his own.
Yeah, the Patriots weren't anything special either, which is crazy.
And he's under MVP consideration. That's so weird.
Yeah. However, I do think that the Patriots did just enough, but I think you and I both agree that it was a close game, for most of the game. I mean, if the Texans could have put together a scoring drive, that would have put the Texans back in the game, especially in the third quarter. However, just frustration, especially
when they got the illegal shift.
Yeah,
when they were going to run it in they were going to fake run it in with Togiai and then gave it to Woody Marks right up the middle. That was one of the better red zone plays they've called all season.
Yeah,
and then they get the illegal shift in it and they can't punch it in.
No.
Drake
just
May's
shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah,
Drake May's fumbles are a big problem.
Yeah, he's got to hold on to the football, and that's why I'm that'll go into my pick later on in the show, but. Just the Patriots committed less mistakes than the Texans, and that's sometimes what football is all about. The Patriots, I felt like, got exposed to.
Well, and the Texans weren't able to capitalize on. I think if they would have capitalized on one or two of those fumbles, they win.
Yeah, we'd be talking about the Texans being in the AFC title game. You know?
I'm at defense, making Jarrett Stidham's life a living hell.
Yeah.
Finished off the weekend with the only road victory. The Bears win it in overtime or lose it in overtime against the Rams. This was opposite. This was a divisional round game where you go, you came out of it feeling positive about the Bears, I think. And Caleb Williams and some of the things that he was able to do.
After a long time. It's a long time coming for the Bears. And that goes from what I said when I said earlier in the show. Ben Johnson doesn't look at this as a building block. He's like, we're going to go back to square one. But I feel like the Bears have so much good going for them right now. And Caleb Williams, what a heck of a throw.
God, man, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He made, and not just that throw. He's made, last week he made some great throws in some of the games where he needed to clinch the division. Like, he has made some just absolutely clutch, amazing, like elite quarterback type of throws that have saved games for the Bears time and time again.
Yeah.
Like, next year with cap space, some draft picks, another year in the system for Caleb Williams, this Bears team is going to be scary.
Yeah.
Really scary.
And Caleb Williams may just be the best quarterback the Bears have ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Since, get this, Sid Luckman back in the 1940s. That's a long time coming for, Jim McMahon was a good quarterback too, but not like the elite level as like Sid Luckman.
Caleb was less than 60 yards away from being the Bears' first 4,000-yard passer.
Mm-hmm.
Less than 60. I think it was like 54 yards away from being their first 4,000-yard passer. He's gonna go if he doesn't regress in year 3, which I don't think he will under Ben.
I don't think so with Ben Johnson.
No. If he doesn't regress in year 3, he's going to go down as their best quarterback.
Oh, by far. At least in the modern era.
Oh, yeah. As far as the Rams go, another day at the office for this Rams team and Matt Stafford, just a little bit colder.
Yeah. I think the Rams impressed me more than the Bears. The Bears just, they pulled rabbits out of the hat, and oh my gosh, yeah, I can't get over that throw. But the Rams they were not bothered. They didn't fall apart. They were like, oh crud. We feel like this game's going to run away from us. They went out and they did what they needed to do. They got the job done. And, now we're talking about the Rams in the NFC title game, and Sean McVay, hats off to him. Hats off to Matt Stafford. My goodness, the Rams they've done really quite well to being consistent contenders. And that folds into, they've been one of the better teams, and they have playmakers all over the place as well. And their defense is very underrated.
Yeah.
They bend, but they don't break. And when they need to make plays, they make plays.
Yeah. And they're like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'll go ahead and spoil it for you right now. They're my pick to go to Super Bowl.
Sure.
Like, they're my pick to win the Super Bowl this year. I think they're the most, outside, they're the most complete team in the league to me. I think that you're going to find flaws. I think their corners can be beat, but you put them up at the Patriots. If the Patriots going to the Super Bowl, I don't see Drake. I see them getting to Drake May and causing him to fumble. That the Broncos somehow miraculously make it with Jarrett Stidham, Sean McVay, and Shula and those guys, they're good enough to make sure that Jarrett Stidham is a non-factor in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Rams have been the most consistent team in the league to me all year long. All right, well, that'll do it for the game reactions. Tyler, are you ready for an announcement?
I'm ready.
You ready for a big announcement? We've been talking about this for a little while, but
we have been.
It is announcement time, guys. Well, the Super Bowl will be 2 weeks from Sunday, Tyler, and you want to know where we'll be right after the Super Bowl?
Where is that?
We'll be at R&R Bar in Amarillo for the Super Bowl finale live, our first on location for the Extra Point.
Ooh.
From R&R Bar in Amarillo. We will be going live about 10 minutes or so after the Super Bowl ends. We'll be giving away an iPad there as a raffle. So for any of you who
Dang.
are around Amarillo, want to make your way to R&R Bar, they're throwing a Super Bowl party. Ronnie always does a good Super Bowl party every year. We will be live for the finale of the Extra Point for this season and the Super Bowl from R&R Bar in Amarillo. Are you ready, Tyler?
I'm ready.
I'm
I'm
excited. We're gonna have fun. Give away an iPad.
This will be really fun. Get to interact with other football fans.
It's either going to be really fun or it's going to be a disaster. One of the two.
Okay. Well, let's hope it's not the latter.
Let's
hope it's the
disaster.
former. Okay. All right. I mean, but giving away an iPad, man, that's huge.
Well, all right, that'll do it. Speaking of the Phone Medic, they are the sponsor for our next segment, which is 3 Up and 3 Down. Check them out.
The Extra Point with Ryan Justice is brought to you by the Phone Medic. For the best in cell phone or tablet repairs, the Phone Medic is the only choice for you. The Phone Medic also offers gaming PCs, laptops, and consoles for both gamers and everyday users. Visit one of the Phone Medic locations in Amarillo or Canyon today.
Definitely go check out the Phone Medic. Go check out Gabe. He's got a brand new baby. He's got a spoon too.
Ooh, congratulations!
Mine's almost a year old, so we want
right.
this as well. But Gabe's got an itty bitty one. So go check him out. Go get your cell phone repaired. Bunch of good guys over there at the Phone Medic. You ready for 3 Up and 3 Down, Tyler?
I'm ready. 3 up, 3 down.
Time to go 3 Up and 3 Down. This is where I will name my favorite. My kind of handing out my game balls for the week of the divisional round. First up on the up list, the New York Giants, man. We hit it in the beginning. I think they hit a home run with this hire. I think this is going to make them the most dangerous team in the NFC East, especially if they start adding pieces.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like they already have the core. So it's really just developing that core, developing Jackson Dart, and really turning up that defense up a notch. If I'm 5-point vids, I am like ecstatic that I can get a really qualified coach to come up to the Big Apple and really do some damage, because I feel like the NFC East is wide open. I'm not saying, I don't want to, step on any toes or anything, but the Eagles showed that they were vulnerable. The Cowboys, they got high end talent, but
there's a lot of questions.
They have a lot of questions. And then the Commanders, they have playmakers as well, but they have questions too. So, I mean, really, the NFC East is ripe for the taking for Harbaugh and the Giants.
I mean, I don't think there's a team that's going to stand in their way unless the Cowboys get their act together with these draft picks, which they very well could. It could take a year, but I think you're going to see it. You're going to see a difference in this team, especially once they get healthy, once they get guys back, and once I believe Jackson Dart begins learning this system that Harbaugh, and if he does get Todd Monken playing, if he does bring Todd Monken as his OC, I think that's going to improve their passing game a lot. They've got the receivers. I think they need to build that offensive line, but I mean the pieces are there for John Harbaugh to make an immediate impact in this division.
Oh yeah, by far.
Next up on the up list, Matt Stafford. Not the greatest game statistically, but I think just the way he's been this year, he won I believe the Pro Football Writers Association MVP today. That was announced. So he's not the AP one. That's not the one that's on the TV or anything that you're going to be seeing a couple days before the Super Bowl. But the Pro Football Writers Association named him the MVP, and I agree with it. So Matt Stafford, you're on the up list this week.
Yeah, and Matt Stafford's like a fine wine. He just keeps on getting better and better. And it helps that he has great players like Puka Nacua in the slot, Devontae Adams. He's got so many great players around him and a good defense to back him up. That's why you can never count out the Rams, especially when it seemed like all the momentum in the world was going in the Bears' favor, only for the Rams to be like, this is nothing.
Didn't affect them.
Yeah.
So shout out to Matt Stafford. But I mean, we start the Extra Point Awards tonight. We'll get down to the MVP, and I mean he's definitely in consideration, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not gonna lie. And in some people's cases, like there's no debate. Like it's Matt Stafford. Top of the mountain this week, Seattle Seahawks, man. I mean that was just domination. Like and to me, I know a lot of people were talking about the Texans being the scariest team in the playoffs. No, it was the Seahawks. It was always
Yeah.
the Seahawks. That's the scariest team to play.
And, it seems like the theme this year has just been great defenses, and Seattle has been blessed with a great defense.
Oh yeah.
And, you can have me behind center, and I could just manage a game. And then if I can have the defense back me up, a really great defense.
Don't
I
say
don't
that because we did see CJ Stroud behind center this
Oh,
week.
yeah. But, Sam Darnold's getting the job done. He had a career renaissance when he was in Minnesota last year, and now he's really turned it up a notch in Seattle. For us to be like, to see Sam Darnold evolve into, a possible Super Bowl quarterback. I mean, hats off to Seattle. It seems like they didn't even fall off after letting Pete Carroll go. So
If
hats
he
off to the
wins
Seahawks.
on Sunday, he will be the only quarterback from that 2018 class to make a Super Bowl.
Oh wow!
He'll be, and that includes Lamar. I believe that includes Baker Mayfield.
Oh,
Remember who else that includes as well? But yeah, it includes some names in that draft class. Well, we've gone 3 up. We're gonna go 3 down, and first up on the list this week
we'll muscle through it.
is Ryan Justice. Is the
Oh
first up on the
no!
down list this week.
You picked yourself as down?
Yes, because I posted a clip on YouTube and was very quickly reminded that the MVP votes are cast as soon as the season ended. So with my remark last week, especially it's emphasized by the loss that the Texans suffered. My remark last week that the Texans could derail Drake May's MVP campaign was quickly fact-checked by people on YouTube and TikTok that the MVP votes have already been cast. So yeah, I kind of put myself on the down list this week.
Well, don't sell yourself short. I probably wouldn't have
Why
known.
didn't you stop me?
I didn't know either. I was
all that. Good Lord, man, come on.
Yeah, I mean, a 2-minute Google search would have been okay for us. So, did I see prices like losing?
Yeah, that was Hunter. Hunter,
Yeah,
there you go.
Hunter with the losing horns. Oof.
Right? Yeah. So next up on the down list, Buffalo Bills, man. That was heartbroken. Like,
yeah,
I'm heartbroken. I felt for Josh Allen.
And if you tuned into the press conference afterwards, where he was in tears,
that was bad.
You felt for Josh Allen, even though my Broncos beat the Bills. I couldn't help but feel for Josh Allen, but he did. He was very. He didn't throw anybody else under the bus. He said that I just didn't play up to what I could. It very respectful. I mean, I would, like if something ever happened to where Josh Allen had to land someplace, I mean, I'd gladly take him in Denver, but
Houston.
Yeah, or Houston, just about anywhere. But they really need to do something. I mean, they had to do something. They just couldn't keep slamming into the wall, especially when they got a new stadium in the works, and they're
he gave him everything.
Yeah,
like that was the definition of leaving it all out there on the field.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but you beat me to it. So yeah.
Want to take a guess at who the Factory of Sadness is?
Oh, is it CJ Stroud?
There you go. Oh. CJ Stroud. I guess here we go. We continue the rant, CJ. I'm gonna continue, but
keep going.
How could it not be 20 and 40? I would have put the Niners, but I mean, we knew the Niners were a mash unit all season. You're supposed to be the franchise quarterback of this team. You're supposed to be the guy leading this team to a Super Bowl. You will never have an opportunity this good ever again to get to a Super Bowl. The path was clear. Jarrett Stidham starting for the Broncos. Drake May fumbling the ball all over the place. Sorry, my dog's going crazy again. Drake May.
The dog knows that your Factory of Sadness rings true. So
right, there we go. She's as upset about it as I am. But Drake May fumbling the ball. You had a generational defense, and you go up there and you put up that performance, and it was bad. And they're like, on top of that, you took no accountability for the bad play in the Steelers game, and you just this mopey, Debbie Downer, moody attitude that he has. You're the factor you're sadness this week, CJ.
Yeah, can't throw 4 picks and expect to win a game.
No, you're not Brett Favre.
Also, the Texans did have some opportunities to get back into the game. It felt like Stroud sputtered basically all throughout.
Rattled.
Yeah.
2 in his head. So, that'll do it for 3 Up and 3 Down. Next up, we'll go into Buy or Sell, and Buy or Sell brought to you by Macaulay Made.
And by Macaulay Made. Whether you're looking for a custom cap as the perfect gift or to represent your small business with a high-quality hat, Bobby Macaulay has you covered. Wear what Ryan and Andy wear. Wear something that's Macaulay Made, the official cap of the Extra Point.
Got Macaulay Made. This is where he got. This is what the hats look like for the Extra Point. You guys are going to want to get one of these.
They're cool. They're really cool.
Definitely. Once we get to 500 on Facebook, 50 on Twitch, or 250 on YouTube, we will be giving away for them. You ready for Buy or Sell?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. We're going to continue this on Buy or Sell. CJ Stroud is not a franchise quarterback.
Oh man, that one's so hard to tell, but I will buy that. Believe it or not, you've taken your team to 3 straight postseason appearances, but this was supposed to be the year where you were supposed to take the next step, and well, you blew it, son. So I think now the question is do you give CJ another year or two to, collect himself and be able to take that next step? I would say yes, but also at the same time, I would take him with a grain of salt. I'd really clamp down hard on him and be like, this offense is on your shoulders. Yeah, you could have the worst play caller in the world. You can have me up in the booth. But it's up to you to make things happen. And really against New England, those things weren't happening.
I'm going to buy it too, because the more stuff's coming out now. Like you could tell he was actively resisting this offense. He was in there saying part of it was because he was trying to do too much. He didn't buy into this offense. He didn't like this offense. Kind of threw temper tantrums on the sidelines when things weren't going well. He got rattled way too easy. I said after this game, I said it in the notebook, there's got to be a conversation now. Like we've kind of held it off because we would begin to have it, and then he would go out and have a game where he'd make plays where you're going, yeah, he's still that guy. I thought the bar got set too high after his rookie season anyway. But, you've got to have questions. I pick up his 5th-year option. There's no way I'm extending him after this offseason. No way. He doesn't deserve that.
You need that quarterback that can take that next step.
He's got to prove it. I'll put it this way. I'll make this declaration right now. Like, normally I match the team on Sundays when I'm wearing their jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
My white jersey is a CJ Stroud jersey. I will not be wearing that jersey until he can prove it to me.
Oh.
I got to get a new white jersey because of CJ Stroud, but I will not be wearing a CJ Stroud jersey next year until he proves it to me that he can get it done and he can show me that he's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
So, next up on Buy or Sell, Josh Allen will not make a Super Bowl.
Oh.
I'll start on this one. I'm buying. I don't think it's more than who the coach was. It's more than who the play caller was, because he's been there 2 different play callers now. It's more than that. You've had talent. I think it's a personnel thing. I think it's a GM thing. It's a Brandon Beane thing. It's an owner thing. And as long as they don't get those issues fixed, Josh Allen's not going to get there, no matter how well he plays.
Sure. I'm going to play devil's advocate. I'm going to sell this one. I do think he'll eventually make it to the Super Bowl, but it's going to be the twilight of his career, like a John Elway. Although John Elway made more Super Bowl appearances, but he didn't get over that. He didn't get the Super Bowl monkey off of his back until his final years in in Denver in his final years in his career. I do think that Josh Allen can make it to the Super Bowl. Will it take his change of scenery? Possibly. Will it take him leaving Buffalo and going somewhere else and taking another team? That's definitely a possibility. I do think that Josh Allen has the talent to make it to a Super Bowl and get the Mahomes monkey off of his back and get Burrow off of his back. I do think he has it in him. But now the question is does Josh Allen need to start looking beyond Western New York and find somebody that's like, okay, we believe in you and we have the pieces around you, kind of like what happened with Matt Stafford, where Matt Stafford spent much of his career in Detroit, but Detroit couldn't get its stuff together, so they had to they basically made a trade between him and Jared Goff to go, with the LA Rams, and Stafford's at. He's contending for Super Bowls year in and year out. Goff, and as well as Jared Goff. And it's one of those weird trades that worked out for both parties. But now I don't know. I mean, here's something kind of crazy. I mean, I can think about maybe a few years down the line, if JJ McCarthy doesn't work out, maybe Josh Allen looks at the Vikings. I can see him purple and gold.
I think you've only got to how good is Jefferson going to be? I mean, don't get me wrong. I that's an interesting point. Like I think if he's going to do it, and Buffalo's not going to accommodate what he needs to get that done, it's got to be done somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were comparing him, and I was like, he fits right in between Dan Marino and he fits right. Marino went to the Super Bowl, but he never won one. Phillip Rivers played like an MVP at times and never earned that respect. Josh Allen has the MVP, but it's never been the Super Bowl. So yeah, well, I think you hit the nail on the head. If he's gonna do it, it's not gonna be in Buffalo.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry, Bills Mafia.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Bills fans. Next up on buy or sell, the 49ers need a soft rebuild.
Ooh, I'll sell that one. I do think that they have the pieces. It's just they were also they limped towards the end of the season. Kyle Shanahan has done so much, especially when Brock Purdy got hurt. The 49ers were games. But I also believe that they need some more supporting actors, because you can't put, your fortunes on Christian McCaffrey. He's a great piece to have, but I don't know if he has his body can hold up to being a centerpiece.
It didn't in Carolina.
It did not in Carolina, even though he tried to turn water into wine.
And they're falling in. They fell into that trap in San Francisco as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I do think the Niners could really. They have the capacity to bring in some more pieces and be. I mean, by this time next year, we could be talking about the 49ers like in the divisional round or even back in the championship game. So
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to buy it though. And by soft rebuild, I think there's some expensive guys that they might want to look at trading off. There's some older guys that they might want to look at trading off. There's some pieces that just can't stay healthy that they might want to look at trading off and bringing in newer guys, bringing in younger guys. They got to clear up some cap space anyway. Purdy's contract's going to kick in. I imagine McCaffrey's going to want a new deal soon. You've got these wide receivers. I think even if you miss the playoffs for a year, remain competitive. But I think at least a soft rebuild is something that could be considered. Because the only other thing that I can think of that would get them over the hump is to just start completely over. And I don't think they're at that point yet.
No.
So I'm going to buy it. They at least need a soft rebuild in order to kind of get past this. They got to figure out their injury issues though.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're looking like the Houston Astros in the sense that they can't handle the injuries. Like they need to keep their guys healthy. Last up on buy or sell, this one's gone around the rumor mill. Buy or sell Mike McCarthy for the Steelers head coach.
Oh, it sounds like something the Steelers would do, so I'll buy it.
I get that, but
yeah, Mike McCarthy, like he wins in the regular season. now it's really, can Mike McCarthy win in the postseason? And we'll see. I think Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has been a consistent model franchise for so long. I mean, since the merger, three quarterbacks: Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. I mean, that's, and the Steelers are going to give you the resources. They will give you. I mean, the problem is the cupboard's so bare in Pittsburgh. But Mike McCarthy somehow gets the best out of his players. But the issue would be is it's in the regular season, not in the postseason. But this is a great proving ground to where McCarthy could win in the postseason. He could win in playoffs.
I'm selling this. I don't think he's the right one because I look at the Steelers, look at where all their success came from with Mike Tomlin. You know, they could have gone older when Bill Cowher rode off into the sunset. They could have gone younger. They could have gone older coach. They could have gone more experienced coach. They could have gone coach with, you know, a proven track record and all that stuff. But where they went was young and upcoming, and I think that's where they need to go now. They need to identify that guy. The problem is that the coaching pool, I don't know if
it's very shallow right now.
I don't know if there's many of those guys that exist right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think if you get McCarthy, you're getting more of the same, and I don't think Steelers fans want that. We'll move along. We'll save the extra point awards for next week. We'll go right into the game previews. There's only 2 this week. We start off with the AFC Championship game on Sunday afternoon. New England Patriots at Denver Broncos. Denver does not have Bo Nix. New England comes in as 5.5-point favorites, which is interesting. I guess the defense has something to do with it. You're the Broncos fan. I'll let you get this one kicked off.
Okay. Alrighty. According to Sean Payton, when they asked him how Stidham was doing in practice, he was tearing up the defense. I mean, right now he you know, it doesn't take much to tear up Denver's defense a little bit. However, you know, I can make a comparison to many quarterbacks in the past where the main quarterback goes down. Let me make a comparison to the 72 Dolphins, even though that's really lofty. Brian Greasy was gone for most of that season. As with, you know, the Baltimore Colts when they lost against the New York Jets in Super Bowl III. The quarterback that took over was basically a journeyman backup quarterback by the name of Earl Morrall, one of my favorite players of all time, just because that guy can hold down the fort, win you games. And the same principle with Doug Williams. Doug Williams came up big for the Redskins and led them to a Super Bowl victory. A lot of backup quarterbacks have have picked up Lombardi trophies. I could see this happen. I certainly believe that Sean Payton's going to elevate his game. He's going to take that game up to the next level because he's one of the best coaches in the league by far. And I believe the defense is really going to turn it up a notch as well, especially with Drake May having fumbling issues like he has. So, yes, I'm shaky, but this is the first time where I've really had to take it out. But I'm going to take the Broncos in this one. I gotta go with the team that 25 years.
Ride or die. I look at Jarrett Stidham, and he's only won one of his starts in his career. He's never started in a postseason game, and this is one of the biggest postseason games he could start. And if he wins next week, could be the biggest postseason game he'll ever start.
Mm-hmm.
Shaky, because I trust Sean Payton as a play caller, but I just don't think you're going to get what you got out of Bo Nix. I think this defense is, you know, while this defense is going to do what it does against Drake May, I just don't know if Jarrett Stidham's going to have what it takes to capitalize on those mistakes, because you know Drake May is going to make them. But I think Stidham has an opportunity to make more, and this Patriots defense is good.
They're good. They're scary good. They're very underrated. Christian Gonzalez is really great.
Yep. And of course they got, Milton Williams back? Like, I mean, he wrecked shop last week. Although I will say this, I don't think Stidham's going to get as rattled as Stroud. But logic for me, I got to go with the Patriots in this one. I mean, I will say this, if Bo Nix was playing, I probably would have picked the Broncos. But I've got to go with the Patriots on this one.
Sure.
NFC Championship time. NFC Championship time. The Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Part 3 of what was an NFC West-led NFL playoffs. I mean, we saw this song and dance before. I believe both games were decided by less than 3 points. And it's going to be close. Seattle's only a 2.5-point favorite. Matt Stafford's playing like an MVP. Sam Darnold's playing really well. Possibly Offensive Player of the Year. And Jackson Smith and Jigba on one side. Puka Nakua's in that conversation as well. There's so much star power in this game that, it's to me, it's a very, very even matchup.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah, it's really, really tough to, play a team 3 times. It's really tough. Sure, Seattle's got the home field advantage, but the Rams are battle tested, and they do have, I would say one of the best coaches in the league in Sean McVay.
Yeah.
And then you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league in Matthew Stafford. It would take something catastrophic to happen for the Rams, but the Seahawks have a great defense, and sometimes great defenses carry the day, but the Rams are no slouch either. Look at them against the Bears. Bend but don't break. Yeah, you can give up the spectacular throws and the highlight plays, but as long as you're not rattled and you flush it and you take care of business and you give your offense every opportunity to win, like what the Rams did, I would say my money's on LA.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it on the Rams as well, and just because I think they've been the most consistent team in the league this offseason. This whole season. We talked about it earlier. They faced a lot of adversity. Don't get me wrong, Seattle has too, but I think both of these teams, like I said, battle tested. Comes down to playmakers. I think the Rams have the better playmakers, and I think they have the better quarterback.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
That'll do it for this week's picks. Let's get into the extra picks. So this is being done via Prize Picks. Speaking of the Rams, I got Sam Darnold over 236.5 passing yards. You looking good on that one?
I believe so. I can easily. I can see the Seattle LA game going one of two ways. It's going to be a big defensive battle, or it's going to be I feel like it's going to be a shootout. So, yeah, the numbers look really good. I would definitely go with Darnold having a pretty decent day.
AFC Championship, I've got Ramondre Stevenson under 48.5 rushing yards. I think that Denver defense holds up against the run.
Yeah, the Denver defense. They had some lapses against Buffalo, but I do believe that Denver has one of the best defensive units in the league.
Van Stricker will tighten that up.
Yeah, and they'll make adjustments. All NFL teams do. It just depends on who makes better adjustments than your opponent. So
game, Jackson Smith and Jigba over 90.5 receiving yards.
Hey, he's had a great season. So yeah, so I could easily yeah, I could easily. Like DK who,
right?
Yeah, I could easily see Smith Njigba have a really good game, and then I would also see like really good games out of Nakua and Devontae Adams as well. So we're going to see fireworks in Seattle.
Stephon Diggs over 4 receptions in this game. I think Drake May is going to go to him. He's been reliable.
Sure. Oh yeah, and Stephon Diggs has had an immense like wealth of playoff experience. Now, granted, that playoff experience has seen him fall short time and time again, but I do think that Diggs is going to come up with some big plays for New England. It's just we'll see how that goes against Surtain and a really good Denver secondary.
There we go. That'll do it for this week, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the channel, view the clips, all that stuff. Go follow me and Tyler on all the socials. Tyler, you ready for conference championships, man?
I'm ready.
There we go.
I'm gonna be stressed, but I'll be ready.
Well, we'll see exactly how stressed 1 week from tonight, guys. Don't miss out on it. If you're in the cold, stay warm, stay safe. It's gonna snow quite a bit up here in Amarillo. But until then, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Extra Point. Goodbye. Good night.